me poses a pretty fundamental challenge to the concept of governance. Paraphrasing John Rawls, how can individuals with a plurality of opinions like us can legitimately accept to be coerced by decisions made by a few that they may very well disagree with? The answer to this question probably depends on the context under study. And something that is quite fascinating about the research that we're conducting in governance these days is that it is relevant to 200-year-old democracies that try to reinvent their institutions and to a few-year-old Web3 that wrestled with innovative governance. So how can we accommodate plurality in both of these contexts? Well, one tool that suggests to revisit the way through which we identify, we select the decision makers, the community managers that Nathan was talking about, is called proxy democracy. In fact, it is known under different names in different communities. I'll refer to it as proxy democracy, but you might have heard of it under the name liquid democracy for a more dynamic variant in democratic studies. In Web3, it has been implemented as nominated proof of stake. But for the sake of this talk, I will stick to proxy democracy to describe the system in which the agents that want to participate directly in the decisions can just self-select. And we can call these people the validators. And then the other people can flexibly nominate the validators they want to be represented by. So the nominators can select more than one validators to account for the plural reality of everyone's diversity. And in turn, the validator's stake in the decision is weighted by the volume of nominations they received. So proxy democracy offers to, at least theoretically, solve or just define new ways of thinking about different democratic principles, such as inclusion, equality, or diversity. For one, in proxy democracy, every agent can freely decide whether they want to take an active part in the decision and be directly active through self-selection or indirectly active through nominations. The idea is also that the nominators can balance out the self-selection biases induced by self-selection from the validators. Proxy democracy also allows to create a more direct link between the nominators and the validators, more direct as compared to the electoral alternatives, where one can authorize and hold accountable in a more direct way the decision makers. Proxy democracy also promised to build on this concept of collective intelligence we just heard about. Collective intelligence is this idea that groups can make good decisions in complex environments, and proxy democracy offers to displace the concept of collective intelligence from knowing about an issue to knowing who knows about that issue. I might not know much about climate science, and that might be okay, because I might know in this community people that know more than me about climate change science. And this information actually matters. Proxy democracy offers to leverage the wealth of interpersonal information embedded in social networks. It also means that we might have a lot of people that would want to take part in these decisions. We might have a lot of different people that end up taking active part in the decisions as validators. And so proxy democracy in that sense might be better suited for online communities that have adaptive digital platforms. But if we think about offline communities, if we want to use proxy democracy, we might need to either think about checks to limit the number of people that can participate, or just rethink, as we heard earlier today, about how we can organize, deliberate, vote in society. So in turn, proxy democracy offers to be, or has the potential to be, a fair and effective decision-making process that leverage the networked structure of communities and the plurality of perspective. Could this be part of a solution, if well-engineered, to the challenges faced by both digital democracies and digital-based Web3? Oops. Thank you.